All right, welcome back. Congratulations. I think what did you say? It was Appalachian Gunslinger. I can't believe I just mispronounced that word.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's my word. You said it wrong. It made me say it wrong.
I said it wrong on
Appalachian
purpose.
Appalachian Gunslinger. Welcome and congratulations. Okay, so welcome back. I'm just gonna leave the introductions to you guys, Diane and Lizzie. Diane, take it away.
Psychic Blade.
Okay, it's been a long day for her. Forgive her.
Hey everyone.
Club, club, club.
Let me calm myself down. Hey y'all, my name is Diane Hall. Hey, that rhymed.
Jeez.
Heartbeat.
Solo, you need to
can-
vet these guests.
You can find me at the Pre-DM on the internet, and you can find me here Wednesdays, Saturdays, Mondays, a lot of Fridays, and every other day in between. That's me. That's as good as you're gonna get right now.
Awesome. Lizzie.
All right, I'm Lizzy Donahue. You can find me here Wednesday nights playing Nafako, and some Friday nights when we're doing Wizards, and that's about it. You can find me on the social medias at the Lizzy LD. Sometimes I post things, you never know. And I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. I'm gonna get into some questions, but how are you guys doing? Lizzie, is this the first time we've actually spoke face to seeing each other's faces?
I mean, aside from maybe the
Brief interactions.
Yeah. I don't think we've really had a conversation because our wizards' paths have not crossed yet.
That's true.
So yeah,
I think it's in the works though, right? I know that we were talking about bringing that back.
Special Saturday, Sunday episode.
Diane, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing great, Ronan. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I'm great. I'm gonna actually send the first question to Lizzie.
Right.
Just to give you some
I'm
time
here.
to compose yourself. Okay, so this is one actually I wanted to ask because we get this. I see this in the chat almost every Wednesday, so I just figure whoever's
so
watching.
I bet I know what it is.
Okay, what is it?
What is a life forge?
Yes, yes, that is. So just go ahead and lay it out on the table for everyone that might be watching, so they know.
Yeah, so a life forged it's a homebrew race that Solo and I sort of cooked up between us, and now pretty much all the cards are on the table, so I think I can give you the full explanation. So a life forged is an organic construct. It's sort of, we call it life forged because it's like a wife forged. No, a war forged. And
Solo's got ideas running now.
Made up organic components, but in this particular case, she is made up entirely of people. She's sort of like a Frankenstein's monster. If Frankenstein sort of had everyone magically fused together, and you had several people's minds and memories and various body parts all fused together. So some people have also compared it to Full Metal Alchemist chimeras. I'd almost compare it to Philosopher's Stone, Envy or something, where you have all of those different souls in you, and there might be a central personality.
So whose original idea was it for this type of character? Did Solo bring it to you, or did you take it to Solo, or what?
I'm actually at this point don't remember how we got here entirely. It was a back and forth where I was originally wanted to play a changeling. And then, but there were actually, it didn't pan out this way because various things happened. But at the time he was I was like, would a changeling be all right? And he's like, yeah, of course, because in this one we have a secret changeling, and in this one we have a secret changeling. And I'm like, well, then wouldn't it be kind of weird if it was oh, suddenly it's Fable 42's thing to have a ton of secret changelings?
Right.
I think both of the other characters that were going to be secret changelings just didn't happen. But yeah, so we started it's if we make something different enough, then it would be. And so at some point we ended up with this idea.
So in this, I guess from Nafako's perspective, are you currently the only being as far as that you're aware of that nature?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So, and then obviously I think we're right on the cusp of learning any kind of secret details or anything like that with the introduction of your father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we're gonna keep with the family theme quite a bit here tonight. But for Keewan, I think this came from. I should have labeled these, but I'm like 98% sure this came from Renee. So Keewan, when Keewan talks about leaving the swamp to follow Roland's footsteps, how does she feel about that?
Like, she feels scared. She didn't. There was more that pushed her out of the swamp than just her brother leaving. Because, like, so this all happened pretty not that long ago, like weeks ago. Weeks ago,
Right.
you know, Roland left. He went missing. And she was terrified because, like, it's no secret that she's scared of the dark.
Sure.
And she sent him out to go check on a big bad monster in the dark, and being a wonderful big brother, he did, and never came back. And she felt terrible about that, and tried to be brave. And as we know, because she's told Nafako the story, and I think she's told someone else, I can't remember who. Maybe she just told Elscott. I don't know, but she definitely told Nafako that, you know, she tried to be brave and went out when she heard the same sorts of noises, and lit everything on fire on accident, and then ran because now she felt like it was her fault her brother was missing. And then it's her fault her village was caught on fire, and she felt really guilty about all of it, and couldn't face her grandmother specifically, who has taught her everything she knows. So she's scared.
I like to think that you told the old lady over her stories, whatever her name was, I forgot.
Janice?
Yeah, Janice.
How
Yeah.
dare you forget Janice?
Listen, I do the recaps, but I am not a lore master. That's Ferric. Sorry, he's got that. They got that on lockdown. So,
but it's Janice.
That's true. That is Janice. I knew it was like an old. I was like Esther, Ethel.
We will find that 26th chapter of her story. It is the most important.
It is.
Yeah. And
if
release it on
anything,
Patreon.
that is why Keewan continues adventuring, is to find this book.
It's her one goal. I found Roll. That's fine. Good. Now let's find the stories. Okay, so I asked Clips this. I asked Eddie this the other day, last week, and kind of wanted to ask it in the reverse to Nafako. So, well, I guess this is more strictly for Nafako, but relating to the bombshell that you told Eclipse, does Nafako want to find out the origins of herself, or does she think that would cause more problems for herself?
That's a great question. I mean, I think she just did.
Right.
But she did want to avoid it as long as possible, because I think I said this in one of my episodes where she had been advised by the people who rescued her from the Necromancer's Tower that, you know, they don't really know what happened to her before, and that, like, recovering her memories could be pretty devastating. I don't know how much the people who rescued her know, but I think they might have suspected a bit more than Nafako did of, like, what she was made of. And
I mean, it's visually kind of apparent, right? I mean, you don't have to be like a genius to be like, well, she's got a dragon hand. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something's weird here.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, it was a Necromancer's Tower.
Right. Yeah. But still, I mean, that the curiosity sort of almost has to be there, but at the same time,
right.
That's another it's a Pandora's box every time you find out one of these things.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's part of her that was torn because she really wanted to, like, help Eclipse and, like, reconnect with the sister, but she's terrified of, like, what she would become if she just, like, undid the memory magic. But she remembered a lot of things when she was getting electrocuted. So,
and I think going forward, the way she handles each part of herself may rely heavily on how Eclipse turns out with this bombshell, like how he finally resolves it and if he's accepting of it and goes forward. You know what I mean? Like if he treats her the same and that sort of thing, she may see that as a, okay, well, you know, this is something that people can overcome and I can maybe help them with that, whatever memory I may have of them. It's interesting. I'm interested to see two things. One, if you meet other people that you know you have, or you hear of people that you have, or you meet them and they're not dead. If there are any that may still be alive, and if I know Solo, I almost guarantee at least one of them are still alive. So whenever that happens, that's going to be interesting. I'm just going to see a Dragonborn missing an arm.
Oh no, they're all bits of them are subsumed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's
bits. Yeah, gross. Okay, so okay, Keewan. Let's see here. What was it? Oh, I don't know if you've said this before or not. You may have said it during the story, but one of the questions that came in was, what was the reason Keewan took her grandmother's name upon leaving? Which I think you almost kind of just answered, the fact that you looked up to her so much.
Yeah, she looks up to her grandmother, her mama, the most. So she's like, was like kind of like her best friend. Like she spent all of her time every day with her in the village. So when she left and like took her first steps, and whenever the Session Zero's released, like she took her first steps out of the swamp and onto a road, seeing different people for the first time. Obviously, normal people ask you your name. You're not just, you know, sister or daughter or granddaughter or whatever pet name they had for her. And she literally was just like, what's my name? What's my name? Caitlin. Because, you know, it's the person she learned everything from. So
did she just did that almost as a means to...
Yeah, it was like, oh crap, people, because she knows about like the naming conventions, because, you know, almost everyone in her family has gone through the ceremony,
right?
And she has not. And then she's like, well, crap, if I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try and find Roland and I'm gonna try and, you know, figure out like, you know, control my magic and stuff, then I should probably have a name. And I don't have a name, so. And
it almost seems like it could be used, if I put myself in their shoes, like a security blanket almost, right? So, I mean, that's a name that you associate with a lot of things. And then so to have your name you be associated with those things.
Her grandmother is the shaman of their village. So she like guided her in prayer to Ra, the god that she worships. And so... Yeah, she definitely, it is 100% a security blanket. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go back to Nafako. If I'll eventually get transitions down, whatever, it's fine. It's fine. We got a while. Fuck it.
Do it on that.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. learn as you go, whatever. You kind of answered this one too, I think, in your game, but whatever. For the record, Nafako, would Nafako want remedied, even if that meant her death? Would that be something that she would want?
Sorry, what was the word would I want?
Remedied, or fixed, or
basically disentangle my people.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfrankenstein.
Unfrankenstein.
Yes. I think Nafako has a pretty self-sacrificing personality. Like, that's kind of what the Redemption Paladin class is. Eventually I'll start being able to like take damage that I just had directed at other people onto myself.
Right.
So I think given the opportunity, she would take it because I think she feels like her life wouldn't be worth more than everybody else's. And I think that's gonna probably come out
So I was
like
about to say,
almost immediately in the next episode.
do you think like let's say you're at that point, you're pretty close to saying, okay, well, this will fix this and that'll be that. Would Eclipse, I guess, at this point, because he's the closest to you, would he be able to talk Nafik off the ledge?
I mean, anything's possible. I don't know.
Sure. I just don't know. Like their relationship is pretty, I mean, pretty deep comparatively, even from the other people in the party. They've had the most sort of, moments up into this point. So I don't know how much she relies on him and trusts him in his judgment, that sort of thing.
I mean, I think she trusts him a lot, but it would also be complicated because she's like, I would be giving you back your sister and your sister's life.
Yeah.
And it could be very compelling if he's like, it's okay, you are you, what's happening? But like, I don't know. It would have to, I couldn't say what would happen.
And see, that's why I think that her sort of reaction towards herself going forward is going to be at least somewhat reliant on how Eclipse finally settles on his thoughts on the whole thing, which we talked about it last week, him and I. With the way that things have gone so far, just since then, since the discovery on his part, like it's just been just boom, 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 thing. Yeah, and so eventually this stuff will settle down. And then all this other shit that you guys just sort of swept underneath the rug is all going to have to like come out and be discussed and figured out, which is going to be a fun episode.
I feel like we haven't really had a moment to just
like,
talk to each other without having to make a plan on like what we're doing.
I mean, it was like, so you guys did the murder plot.
Right.
And you were close to doing it then because you had like the tavern and the bullseye thing or whatever. Then you guys went to leave and then just shit hit the fan and you guys haven't talked about anything. And then not only that, you've added, so now you found family members and a bunch of other craziness. Yeah. So eventually, you guys are going to have a really good therapy session.
That's how life is.
Yeah,
it's just
true.
Complicated.
That's true. Okay, so speaking of families and death, I don't know. Okay, so Kiwan.
Yeah.
Would Kiwan, under certain circumstances, ever kill her brother if it had to come to that? Nope. She
would kill herself before.
Well, okay, so let me pitch a hypothetical then. So he's completely changed. We don't know that for sure. Obviously, he's shown cracks and that sort of thing.
No,
but
always.
if he is at some point completely changed and he would be the one doing the bidding of the artificer to attack your new friends, I mean, is she always going to look for that redemption path with him?
She would not be able to attack him. She just wouldn't. She would do everything she could to stop him from hurting her friends because she has, I mean, everyone says that Kiwan just is like best friends with everyone. And yes, she does love
including Carrick somehow.
But that's because she hasn't really been shown a whole lot of like, well, this person's bad, so, you have to watch your back. She hasn't been shown that much of that. Everything they fought has kind of been creatures and not just like humanoids who are doing ill against you.
Yeah, and you guys heard of some existential threats, white cloaks, Pyriel, but nothing.
But that's not like a personal person. Right. That's like a personal, like, I'm me and I'm attacking you or I'm doing something bad to you. So she still doesn't have that outlook on people. So she still sees the good in everyone first. And that's why, like, even with the artificer currently, she's a little confused because, he like took the Krek babies out and
I guess
her, and she's pretty sure that he's totally bad, but she still believes there's some good. She just does. But I mean, obviously, with everything that's happening in this next episode, I'm sure that's all going to get washed away. And with her brother like about to be stabbed with a needle and her like shoving her body in front of that. But to get back to your question, she would not attack. Like she would never attack her brother. She would try and stop him from attacking her friends. But
so you heard it here first, folks. Kiwin would let the others kill her brother.
No, I wouldn't. That's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth.
You said you would not attack your brother.
I wouldn't attack.
But
okay,
you wouldn't
so
stop the others from attacking your brother.
Add to it then. My gosh. She wouldn't attack him. She would stop him from attacking her friends, and she would. I mean, so here's the thing: is if they're attacking her brother, then they're attacking her, and she will do everything she can to put herself in that harm. So he wouldn't.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting.
I mean, she's already kind of saying, you know, F you, kill me, don't kill him. As we speak, it's been paused.
Yeah, that's true. Well, one of the things you said was interesting that I didn't actually, I hadn't looked at it, Kiwin, from that perspective yet, but you make a good point, is that, so on the face, she kind of looks like one of those typical characters that is always going to find the good in people. But that's not exactly the way it is when you said what you said before, which is, it's not that so much she's trying to find good in people, it's that she, like, at this point in her life, doesn't really understand what bad in people is. So she's almost unable to see the bad. Exactly. So that's interesting. Which makes the crap that her brother's doing all the more interesting. I mean,
I don't think we need to get.
I'm just saying, what he's doing is pure evil.
I just want to say that Nafiko would have absolutely back up Kiwin in trying to do everything to protect Nicoril, because, I mean, she was actually sort of burning with rage watching what was happening to Roland, because it was exactly what happened to her. Little did you know how exactly it was, because it's her own father doing it, but she's like, that's why she was like, look, I've got my memories back, like,
yeah.
Right.
She's like, and she does not want to believe that she is evil because of what was done to her, right? Like,
right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And this is sort of the redemption paladin thing.
And like during that whole thing with like Kiwin staring out of the jail cell, like trying to get her brother's attention, and like Nafiko's like trying to get Kiwin's attention, and she just like ignored her. I was like, I feel terrible, but like that's what would happen. I mean, in any other situation, Ki would immediately be like, "Oh yeah, Nafiko, my best friend."
Of course, best friend.
I got your attention eventually and was able to say my piece.
Yeah, and you were able to give me some healing, which was nice.
Which I don't know if I'll need. If we go up in a fight against him, I don't think we're going to be in a good condition.
I have 22 hit points right now.
I've used most of my resources.
And I have a needle coming towards me.
Not good.
I love the fact that also Solo, of course, naturally is listening to all this, so I'm sure that...
Yes, he's just cackling in the chat right there.
Oh,
of course he is.
So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's gonna I know that's gonna play out. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's gonna play out. Okay, so we kind of already answered that. So let's get down to this one. So Nafiko, as far as Bizarro Nafiko goes, as I've named her, was that the first time she's experienced that sort of change? And sort of a follow-up question. How much self-awareness did she have during that time?
Well, that's a fun question. I actually think this is the second time on stream this has happened. It was a lot less explicit, but when Eclipse was taken by the spiders, I was sort of hinting at this happening with her shouting into Baxi for Eclipse.
Okay. Okay.
his
I do
sister.
remember that, but I just assumed it was a language you had.
It is a language I have. I have the languages of all the people inside of me, which is why
That
I
makes
speak
sense. That makes
so many
sense.
languages. And so that was less pronounced. This one, I mean, it's sort of a weird, like, how self-aware she was. She like knew how to operate her, class, even though this was sort of like an older personality taking over. Like, I think she knew who everyone was, but she was also just like more fixated on what this person cared about, which was, why is this person who, like, was trying to precipitate the apocalypse doing here?
Do you think at some point these, or maybe this is just, do you hope at some point this is aspects of herself that she will eventually be able to not just control, but also like utilize at some point?
You mean like, yeah. I mean, so the fun thing about the Life Forged race that we made was that we like have we took a bunch of like the random class features to sort of, like, you can call on them. But yeah,
Okay.
you will hear more from the people that make her up over time.
Oh, that's cool. So you got like 30 backstories to explore. Just
I've been talking about how this is the longest backstory I've ever written for a character, and it's actually because I just wrote a bunch of backstories that were
right. Tons of breadcrumbs for Solo to play with. Let's see. We already asked that question.
Thankfully, not 30 though. Oh my god, that would be ridiculous.
My brain was trying to come up with some funny bread joke, but
how many people?
It's a long time. Yeah, how many people right now? Has that been said? I don't know.
No, it has not. So as of one of the things we're doing is we're sort of like, things about this race get revealed to me over time. Like, I know probably all the people, although Solo's hinted that he might add some extra people that I don't know about. But
so without spoiling it, like from your picture,
5.
how many? I know we've talked about the 5. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
So what are the? So you have the obviously Light.
Yes, Light. The Necromancer's daughter. The orc old woman Fax, who took over my body. And then there's 2 more who we haven't really talked about, but yeah, who have had basically no breadcrumbs. I think I said, but like it sort of got glossed over because the topic changed, where I was like, there's a tiefling and a goblin.
Okay. Oh, okay. So. Awesome.
Oh.
That's a lot to unpack.
Oh, there is so much to unpack. I've actually been thinking about writing like notes from the Necromancer's Tower, because like, just so that like for people who want to read like all of the stuff that has happened in the background, because I don't think there's any way we can barely chip the surface on the street, because this is not the Nafako show. This is everybody's show.
And what's cool is it's true. What's cool is the dichotomy between the fact that she has all of that, all that history, all those years, and yet she's like, what is she, like 2 years old? Is that what you said, or
that's
she's
right? Yeah, she has amnesia. It was really funny because I wrote like these 8 pages of backstory or whatever, and then it's like, and I have amnesia. So
right,
she was created about 2 years ago, but
yeah,
I think she just uncovered a lot of history last episode.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, you might get those like big, huge chunks when a big life event happens.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Keewan, Keewan. Wow, I wrote like that. Did you ever think that it was odd that you were able to send a message or sending to Nolan, but then were unable to properly communicate once you were in the tower?
Roland.
No.
Yeah,
not Nolan. Sorry.
Keelan doesn't think that's weird.
Roland. There you go. Fixed it.
Well, I just assume.
Because my question is,
yeah,
maybe he was allowed to. because he's evil and he needed all y'all to come to the
No,
tower.
he's not evil. He's
just
not
saying.
evil. My gosh. No, my brother is not evil.
But seriously, my first thought was that he was allowed to, or the artificer was playing you guys.
I believe that even if Roland not Nolan.
Sorry,
Even
yeah.
if it's okay.
Can't help autocorrect. Shut up.
Even if
Roland's not a
Roland,
real name.
it is a real
Real name.
Stupid. No.
Roland sounds suspiciously similar to another name. By the way, that's all I'm gonna say. Even if Roland was able to cast sending, I feel like he didn't because he didn't want me to come there. And like if he continued to communicate to me about like where he was, obviously that would have led me to know more and brought me there quicker. But
Yeah.
I ended up there pretty quickly anyways. But I mean, I feel like the artificer also could just be like, nope, you can't do this now.
I'm sure that's exactly
And
how it
then be
sounds,
like,
too.
okay, now you can because it aids whatever terrible artificer necromancy bitch shit I have planned. You know?
Sure.
Like his right on time, like you're bringing your friends towards me, like.
So what are the theories? And I guess it's both of you guys. So what are the theories for how he knows so much? I mean, obviously there's some people there that he would know more about than others, but like, what's the theory on how he knows?
100% is working with the White Cloaks.
I
In
think so.
some way. In some way, he is connected to the White Cloaks. Just
I mean,
is.
I think that's been hinted at already in your head, right?
Yeah, because so
It's
in the
Ronan.
town that they all went to, I haven't been there, but they all went.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
were
they-
White Cloaks
With
bringing
Theobald.
my brother and
Teuton, probably.
I can't remember. Kyriel's Fearbulk friend who
Teuton,
we
right?
haven't found.
Yeah, Teuton.
Yeah. Teuton. They took them through the town and then
Do the White Cloaks explain everything though? And
Well,
I'm legitimately asking because like the Carrick stuff and
yeah, I don't. Well, now Carrick and Eclipse are tied in with those like big piratey people.
right, okay,
Also have some association with the White Cloaks.
pretty
Maybe
loose though.
it was pretty loose.
White Cloaks are evil.
Okay.
But I mean, there's obvious reasons why he would have kept tabs on me. But yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the others.
I mean, it could be something simple like that. Solo loves simple stuff, so it's probably that.
I don't know if I agree with that at all.
I mean,
way.
I mean, he, because Eclipse is connected to me, and Carrick is connected to Eclipse. There is.
And Carrick is connected to Keywin because they're best friends and they have friendship bracelets.
That's true. I'm just gonna throw. My theory is that both Nafiko and Roland are agents of the Artificer, and everything's evil, and they're gonna destroy the world. That's my theory.
No,
I'm
listen.
a precious being. How dare you?
Listen. We meta know that Roland gets out at some point and goes to another plane of existence.
Oh, thank you. This is the first official transition on Fawks Talks. That leads me right into this question provided by Cody. How did
Transition!
Yeah. I need a sound effect for all of my transitions. Put that on the board. Put that on the whiteboard. Okay, anyway. How did Keywin feel? This is provided by Cody, by the way. How did Keywin feel meta
Yeah.
about her brother crossing over tying in from River Break?
Well, Solo did ask me. He asked my permission if I was okay with it, and I said absolutely, because why not? It's fun, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the weird stories and the connections. I want everything to be connected. I think it's great because we've connected Shawgal with Ukodor, so why not connect River Break with Ukodor, which means it's connected to Shawgal and all the other things. It's interesting because I have to like separate myself from the story now more because I know that at some point my brother is gonna be leaving me again because of the time that we established that he is in River Break.
So this is prior to him leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now everyone else can join in my meta knowledge that I have to keep at bay. But it's great. It's great. I'm gonna cherish every moment I have with Roland because she'll never call him Nightgirl.
Sure.
Never.
And it's funny because I know that like anytime he does stuff like that, like not Victor, but crap, what's his name? The guy that you guys fought today, Biago. Anytime that anytime he really likes a character, he keeps putting.
Yeah, well, why not?
He just keeps putting him in. So he's like, all right, well, I really like this character, so now he's in Ukodor, which I agree with. I think it's fun. Okay, cool. That was it for the segues. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Can I flip the script for a sec?
Yeah.
So one of my favorite moments in recent memories was when you two, your characters in Wizards, met in the room with the best flirting ever. And so my question for you, Ronan, was Tegan trying to do a line or was he that dumb?
Okay, so this is what's tough is, so I'll just, the whole thing started with Thegan and Anna based off of my rivalry with what's her name? Killian, yeah. KY something. And
Kai.
it's Kai, yeah. It started out basically because in chat we were arguing back and forth, and I said it's gonna be, and this was before Anna's show premiered, and I said it's gonna be really funny when I end up dating your sister. And from there it just sort of like,
and I would like to add to that I missed all of that.
Yeah, you were in the show. It was your show.
I was like, I jumped in like way after that, and I'm like, wait, what's happening? Like, what's happening with Anna? Like, I just had no idea. And then someone mentioned like, oh well, Anna and Thegan has a crush on you, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then I ran with it too. And
yeah.
I was like,
So meta, like outside of game, that took off. And it did its own thing and it grew, whatever. So whenever I found out that was going to be the game that I was going to be in with her and her sister, and this was most likely going to be the one and only time we were going to meet for the first time. So outside of game, Ronan knew it had to be a pickup line, but I had to be creative enough to think about, okay, well, Thegan wouldn't do that. So from his perspective, no, he was being legitimate. He thought she cast a spell, and he's an idiot.
Yeah, and we didn't know the way in which we were going to be meeting either.
No, that was completely in the moment. But it was funny because I was thinking in my head, I was like, all right, if I'm really gonna play Thegan, like, and she plays this whole thing up like she did cast a spell, then he's probably gonna get pissed and want to fight. Like,
hello, Thegan.
Yeah. Well, who was that?
That was Killian.
Have you been making out in the room with my sister?
I was like,
I'm going to see this room. I will get in there eventually, and I will see all the nasty things that you are doing. I know it.
Get on my show. You should hijack my show. She's everywhere.
First, Lizzy hijacked your show. She became the host, and then you became a guest.
We're way off the rails now.
So I remember that one.
I'm not talking at all.
Oh, that's so
I forgot
funny.
she has like an inch. She has a complete window into my show. I completely forgot about that.
back door in. She can get here
Oh.
anytime she wants.
Oh, that's terrible. I need
Oh,
to. All right, I'm gonna
so
kick you off after the thing.
Hey,
the
hey, I'm
recap's
taking my
done.
intro with me, buddy.
No, please, God, don't take the 4 seconds away from me. I can't see it. I'm going to watch it on playback. I bet it looks absolutely ridiculous.
Oh god.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we got
For
plenty of
us?
questions. Oh, also, but since I got more to go through, but if you guys have a question in the chat, go ahead and send it, and I will ask it. I'll ask whatever. I don't care. What's your favorite ice cream?
We'll have to have a wizard special.
Shit.
Mint chocolate
So-
chip? Is that what you said?
Which is apparently the Silverthorn favorite.
Well, we'll have to have a wizard special and answer all the wizards questions.
Yeah, we
I'm
should.
sure there's
I
a
should
ton.
do like a couple episodes in a row of the different houses.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do
That'd be fun.
Frostguard, and then we'll end it after that.
Wow.
Excuse you.
Wow.
Your
Oh, I
future
forgot I have
Shadow
other moves.
Queen
That's true.
is in
Wait.
Moonlander, so this is a split household, sir.
You you were picked by Moonlander, but everyone knows that you're
No, I'm
Frostguard.
totally Frostguard.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't even know where. Okay, so let's see here. We've already asked that.
Favorite
kind of
spell?
asked that. Oh, so this is another one from Renee for Lizzy, and this is the exact same question you asked Eddie too. So I think it's fun. When will you be persuaded to DM a streamed one shot?
It's a good question. Since I did the community game, I feel like maybe I'm ready. Now it'll just be for whenever we have a con and there's a space open. But
Solo's so happy.
I don't see him. Yeah.
I'm excited. I get to be
More
in the
DMs? Yes.
Thanksgiving one coming up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm running in.
You're running the Star Wars, right? And then
Yeah. I'm running a Star Wars game for some people on the network because I'm trying to spread this system around, and then maybe we could run like a more advanced version of that once people have learned all the basics. It could be fun.
That is cool.
I mean, all you had to say was that it was Star Wars, and I'm on board.
Word.
Hmm.
Agreed.
Star Wars is so much fun.
All right, I got a couple one for both you guys.
The answer is yes, no, and maybe.
That's huge. That's a big question. I think that was also a Renee question. Wizards of Ukodor is constantly changing and developing. That's correct. What is your favorite moment so far? And what are you most excited for in the future?
I mean, my favorite moment is the room.
Yeah, for sure.
That moment was everything.
Closely followed
It
by me
was-
escorting your half-naked sister down the hallway, and that whole awkwardness, like that. Just that episode alone was just the best and worst experience of my life.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
It was
really
incredible. I mean, like the DMing for that scene was.
good.
It's
Mhm.
like I knew I was in there, and I'm like reading my book, and I'm like reading my evil book that no one knows about, and I'm
everyone
like
knows
in
about.
there forever, and I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, I want to come out, and I want to like meet everyone. They're like right outside the door, and I want to meet everyone. And then Thegan goes in there, and I was like, okay, so this is interesting. And then when Solo was describing it, I was like, ooh, this is really interesting. What's happening? And then he messaged me that I was feeling all of these things too. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, this
was
is
ridiculous.
fantastic. It was great because I had no idea what was happening. I was like waiting for a moment to say, I would like to come out of the room now.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll just wait 30 seconds to come out. He's like, yeah, cool. That was instantaneous. And I was like, oh, right. Time works different. Do you guys
Yes,
think?
the 30 seconds afterwards, I was just like, and then I thought I had said I looked back at the person who was behind me to be like, oh, there's a person behind me. But apparently I didn't say that because I was actually flustered. and then Killian's like, how do you know what he looks like? I'm like, oh my God. Okay, bye.
But that whole episode was it was nonstop fun. It was so good.
It makes me really excited for all of these coming up because I think that he's going to run probably something pretty similar with a lot of the just here's all the people have fun interacting with one another because we're all like for us to like I've said this before, but like to do a show where you're like, all right, we're going to have 15 wizards, like, and to have 15 completely unique individuals who play the class completely different is just I don't know how that happened. Like I just don't understand it at all. Like whatever, but it's neat, and I think that allows for what what our show did, and I guarantee what the next couple ones are going to do, which is just tonight, right after the show.
What's gonna happen?
I do have another quick favorite moment is when I went into the shadows and they came out, and then everyone was like, "They came out of the shadows and killed everyone." I was like,
"Yeah, actually," and I won't.
I was like,
"She came out of the shadows."
I didn't know. Like there was so I'm not going to spoil anything. But there was something that I learned after the show that I should have known during the show. That is like, what the hell? Like we all missed it. Every one of us missed it. So
are you gonna say? You have to tell me.
Nope, not gonna tell you.
Never, not even offline.
Well, you guys will find out. You guys will find out. But there was something in that hallway scene that we all missed. So
now I'm curious.
Oh, you know what it is.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me. Tell
nope.
me what it is.
You have to stay tuned.
I just want to add for myself
just watching chat right now to see if anything comes up.
Yeah.
But, yeah, go ahead.
My some of my favorite wizard stuff has been the offline stuff.
Yes.
Like when I instigated doing a lot of letter writing, I've had some really, really great writing partners, and I'm really excited to see that play out on live streams. I don't want to spoil who they are, but
I know Solo has toyed with the idea of figuring out a way to make that Patreon content, but I think that series is so popular that I think it would be worth trying to figure that out.
We just have to we just have to have the time to transcribe it all.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting.
And make it into a format that's easily read, and nicely read, like visually as well.
And it's a good companion piece. Like full disclosure, Ebdar has been my writing partner for a while. So when he ran up to me in the library and started shaking Deegan's hand feverishly, it's because he knew him, and Deegan was pretty much how he acted in person was how he acted in the letters. But so that I mean, you could get some more insight.
Received 0 letters.
Ooh.
You guys.
They know who the queen is. You don't just write the queen.
I mean, it's true. You go through her people.
That's right. Yeah, I'm answering letters for you at this point.
I have servants who do that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so one of the other things I was talking about wizards was so do you guys foresee and maybe I don't know if you guys know this or not, but do you think that there'll be big graduation ceremonies like we did with the freshman year? Do you think we're going to do another battle? And do you think that are they going to be intermingled? What do you guys think? It's all hypothetical at this point, but I have a feeling that this sophomore year will be either individual ceremonies again with more role play, or maybe we'll fight another person with intermingled houses, which I think would be also very fun.
Well, I mean, meta, we know our last 3 episodes are house specific, so based on that.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do know that. Yeah,
we have siloed.
No, you're right. So there will be we'll either be fighting as a house or some sort of ceremony. But those, if I'm not mistaken, he's come out and said that they are all going to take place at the exact same time. Is that like in time? They're going to take place at the exact same time.
Same time frame. So
right.
I feel, obviously because there are some people are on multiple episodes. So
but there
has to be some sort of
the last 3 episodes with each individual house, despite the fact that they're on different days, are all going to be taking place at the same time in game.
Yeah, that is correct. Exactly same time.
So that'll be kind of interesting.
Yes. So
guys
maybe
are
there's
gonna-
a zombie attack we need to deal with. Hemian.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sticking to my guns that what we experienced was definitely the result of Himian and his undead beholder. Okay,
I
so
have a question.
go for it.
It is a
It's
totally
free for all.
it's a free for all now. We don't have any format.
Screw it. We got 4 minutes. Go.
So I guess I just want to know, because I asked this hypothetical question. It's totally not Anna asking this question. If someone raised a shadow from a dead corpse. I mean, corpses are usually dead, but
Yes,
you never know.
Those words are synonymous. Correct.
well, are they zombies?
That's fair.
If you raise a shadow from a corpse, are you still able to raise the corpse?
I mean, sure, right? I think that what you're putting into the corpse is some sort of reanimation essence. Does it need it? Does it need its? I don't know what the hell is the shadow that you're pulling out of it.
Don't worry about the shadow.
Okay. Jesus. Oh man, things getting into some dark stuff. I like how Thagan was like projected to be like the most evil one, and he's just getting involved with all sorts of horrible people.
You bring out the worst in her.
That's okay.
Not
that's fair.
really.
That's
No.
fair. I think it's the book more than anything.
The book for sure. No one has to
Um,
answer that question, but it is a question I have that I want answered at
So
some
long
point.
as so casual says so long as the corpse is still relatively intact, and I feel like
Oh,
if
I
anybody
know-
knew,
There is no reason for the corpse. I don't need the corpse.
so like that's just a field day for him.
Yeah. So I think
Cool.
Hemian and Anna will get along.
For sure. He's a little out there though.
Yeah, you two are both in that episode where, and
Oh.
not the week from the next one after this one.
Mm.
Oh, are we?
Yes, it'll be you, me, Hemian, Rook.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah.
the other and Brene. And
Oh yeah.
and, I mean Ebdar. Saying, yeah. Yep.
Good old Ebdar.
Should we get back
Poor
on track
Ebdar.
here?
For our
No, we have 2 minutes left. It's off the rails.
It's
How
off
come
the
anything
rails,
how
guys.
come anything you're associated with just goes off
Me?
the rails? Okay. Speaking of Diane,
Are you?
being that the current running gag of Legends is off the rails, I shit you not, this is a question.
Great.
What have your players done to meet your expectations?
Oh, they're incredible. They're insanely good role players.
For sure.
Every week they are giving me like an extra little bit. Like they're sending me this extra little like, oh, this is what I'm thinking for my character, and like, oh, like what about this? And it's incredible. I am honored to have the players. I know they get a little kooky during the stream, but they've been kind of free range for the most
Sure.
part for these first few episodes, and I think after this next episode they'll be more streamlined into, you know, they're on their first quest together, so
Right.
so they're aligned. They've established that they're a group and they're working together, and they're not just traveling companions to the next city. So it'll be good. They're great.
Yeah, I think I love that group. I think they are. I've said it. I think on every show so far that they're the weirdest group ever
They're weird.
on like multiple levels. But they're really fun to watch, and I think you know, obviously I make fun of Casual's character a lot, but that's just
Yeah.
I really like this character.
It's a great character. You
It
have
is.
you have no idea.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. So I think from a perspective, like, you know, I've DM'd a bit, but not extensively, and I think that character would scare me to death as a DM. But it hasn't seemed to be. I mean, either you handle it really well, but it just hasn't seemed to be too bad as far as, you know, because he's constantly getting all the information.
Well,
So
and that's partially because Jordan is a good player and he's
Yeah.
very organized and he can explain like what he wants in a very clear and concise way.
that's true.
So and even like off stream, like when he like tells me something, like it's I understand it because the way he words it and the way he describes it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have anyone else play this character.
It's
Because
definitely
I'd be
interesting.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I want to
How
search
many
for.
How many times are you multi-classing? No, we're not doing that.
Jordan showed me his roadmap, and it's frightening and impressive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're about out of time.
I'm never going to be invited back on the show. It's been great, guys.
No, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. No, so yeah, absolutely. So thank you for being on the show. You guys will absolutely be invited back, of course. Do your little exit Instagram things and we'll close it up. Go
Bye,
ahead,
guys.
Maybe not after any more 12-hour streams. How about that? That's the rule.
What? No. Easy peasy. You can find me at the Pretty DM on Instagram and Twitter, mostly retweeting Casual Campbell and Fable 42. You can find me here on Mondays, DMing Legends of Shah Gal. The next episode, it's all about that party. This next episode, so that'll be fun. I love DMing party because I get to bring out all of my personalities. You will find me next week on Wednesday, where Kiwan tries to kill herself for her brother. I'm just kidding. And you can find me tomorrow for Vault, trying to get out of a threesome.
The old. No, I'm
Hopefully
kidding.
with some caps in my pockets. So you can find me in all of those spots and more here on Fable 42 because this is where I live and I love it.
Perfect.
All right.
Psychic Blade. Sorry. I'm done.
Shut her camera off, please. Thank you.
Glub, 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 glub. Glub, 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 glub.
This is gonna be
Yes.
my highest rated episode. I know it.
Oh, yes, and you can find me Glub Glub at the Lizzy LD on Twitter and Instagram. Watch me and Dianne on Wednesday with our great cast of the Realms of Ukodor. Tune in for all of the Wizard shows because they're freaking fantastic. It's gonna be a blast tonight. I know it. Props to all the
I can't wait
cast.
to watch. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be so sleepy watching, but it's gonna be great.
Yep. And there's always the VOD. There's always the VOD
Now on YouTube.
On YouTube.
on YouTube.
All right, guys. Well, I am Ronan Fox. This has been Fawks Talks. I appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you next week at a later time. We'll see you after the all-personal call again. So we'll see you then.
Go ahead and enter Wizards in the chat for the Between Show giveaway, and we'll see you guys soon.
It's fine. Yeah. Do that.
Psychic.